Hello YouTube world, it is Lee of the Deaf to Metalhead and I'm doing a vinyl collection video today. Hopefully the camera looks noticeably different. I've noticed with my Pixel 6 the quality on the front camera has been shockingly shite, and I'm hoping the rear camera you can see me better and the sound is better. I'm having to use a mirror behind my phone to kind of see what I'm doing, so I've got no idea if I've got the angles right. So hopefully we'll wing it and it will work out, you know. Anyway, so these are records I picked up in the last couple of months. These are Christmas presents, a few of them. Some of them I bought way before Christmas and I've just never got around to talking about them. But they're all different in their own way. Some of them are similar, but you know, this isn't all just extreme metal. There is some other genres in this video for a change. So we'll start off with a Christmas present. I asked for this because I'm a big Motorhead fan. I saw them live 3 times before Lemmy passed away, and they kind of captured the whole image of heavy hard rock for me. You know, the no nonsense music, the aggressive tones, that kind of thing. I got into them quite early on in my metal journey, shall we say, and I've been a fan ever since. But I've made a decision not to collect everything by them because I don't care. You know, I don't need a specific Motorhead album. I don't need every Motorhead album. I just know songs I like, and I have them on as background music more than anything. I don't go out my way to listen to Motorhead. So for Christmas I was lucky enough to receive from Mr. Claus himself the Everything Louder Forever, which is a 4 LP set, and this kind of has every single Motorhead song I like on here. It is only, I think it actually has every one of them that is my favourite. It's a 4-disc set, like I said, and it covers pretty much all of the Motorhead discography right through to the newer ones. So you get artwork galore. So you've got the first one here with the original 3. Then you've got Wurzel on that one there, with Lemmy with his shirt off, and Phil Campbell looked like he's in Miami Vice. And then you've got this one here with like the track listing of who wrote what song, and you know who was in the band, you know, right through to who the thank notes, management, the lot, covers the whole history of the band. This one's got a picture of the newer lineup with Mickey D on there, another one with Wurzel on there, and then this one here has all the artwork of the discography, so you know what albums you're listening to, and then pictures of the band there. Really, really cool. But it gets better. The gatefold, they even put some effort into that. So it's like this nice thick, kind of weird, bendy card that fits in no vinyl protector sleeve, and it opens up into this kind of like casing of amps. But it gets better. And then if you unfold it, it gets even more silly. It's kind of like this big old Murder One bass speaker cabinet that you would have seen on stage with Lemmy if you ever saw them live. And if you flip that up, you've then got some set lists with signed pictures and embossed kind of logo pics and stuff like that. So yeah, a really nice set, and this isn't that expensive. You can pick this up for about 50 quid, I think. So if you're like me, you just like Motorhead but you don't really care for what kind of, you know, Motorhead album, you don't need a Motorhead album, you just want their music, go check this out. Really worth your time. So yeah, brilliant little piece that is. Right, moving on to some Danish death metal. First one is from the band Sulphurous. This came out last year. This is called The Black Mouth of Sepulchre, I think. This is put out through Misaka and Records, like I said, last year. And anything that label puts out, I will normally buy. I have no problems with anything they put out. In the last couple of years, it's all been stellar. And this is no different. Straight up, no nonsense Danish death metal. Not really much to say if you're a fan of the style already, but it's just thick, cavernous, heavy. I have their previous album from a couple of years ago on cassette, and you know, brilliant band. But the only gripe I have with this release is the inlet with the lyrics on it and stuff like that come on this little sugar papered booklet with gold font that I just cannot see unless I go full zoom in mode on my eyes. You know, it's really, really hard to see, and in the middle of it, there's just shapes and numbers there, so it's a bit bizarre. But musically, it's spot on, no different to their previous album. Same sort of style, I would say. I mean, this is solid, but I might actually prefer the previous release to this one. I have to kind of compare the two again, but the first one stands out more in my head, but the cover on this one certainly wins, hands down. So yeah, really, really good release. And the next one is another Danish death metal band, but this is crossed with members from Turkey as well, who are in other death metal bands in Turkey. And this is Hyperdontia with the album Hideous Entity, that also came out through Misako and Hoho Records. Again, insane artwork, instant buy me material, that is, straight away. And this band put an album out a couple of years ago called Nexus of Teeth, which I really, really liked. Yet to pick up, strangely, and now I can't find it anywhere when I do want to pick it up, but we'll get there. So yeah, this band, again, no nonsense death metal, has the style of Danish scene, but also because it has members from Turkey, it has that kind of Turkish sound as well. And I believe members from Diabols are in this band, as well as a few others. Really, really cool release. This is only the black vinyl edition. There is a green one, I think, as well, like a slimy kind of green in this kind of font colour here. But yeah, really cool cover. I might pick the long sleeve up of this as well, that you can get, because I like stuff like that when I'm doing the school run. It sets the tone. But yeah, Hyperdontia. Now, moving away from metal completely, as did this band. Now, this band formed in the 90s as a black metal band in Norwegian, but they stopped being a black metal band around 98, and then went on this kind of journey into doing whatever the hell they want. So all their albums are very, very different, soundscapey, progressive, you know, in all sorts of weird ways. And I'm talking about the band Ulver. This is their album, The Assassination of Julius Caesar. I think this came out around 2018 or maybe earlier than that. I'm not too sure, I didn't check. But this is a repress through House of Mythology. Now, their 2020 album, Flowers of Evil, is what got me into this band. Now, I knew they were a black metal band. I never knew what happened to them afterwards, never really cared. And I'm a big fan of 80s synth pop. Was pretty much brought up from it as a child. My mum used to play it every day, and it's kind of in my DNA. Like my brother as well, we're both the same. We're obsessed with it, but not as a way to go collect it. It's more of a appreciation of it. So if I hear it, I'll listen to it. Like Duran Duran, that's the band that stuck out the most to me. Like that album Rio, you know, I know that very, very well. And this band, or this style that they're doing at the moment, is very reminiscent of bands like Duran Duran, so it instantly clicked for me. And this was the album prior to Flowers of Evil, that is also in the same style, so it's that 80s synth pop. It's got some female vocals on there as well. It's very gay. He's got some kind of shoegazy moments in there, some kind of weird dance trance moments in there. It's got a bit of everything, this album, and it's brilliant. I love it, and I've listened to this for quite a long time on Spotify, so when it popped up in a distro not too long ago, I jumped on it straight away. It comes with this really nice insert booklet, which is about that thick, and it has all the lyrics and stock photos like the previous release I have as well from them. So yeah, really, really cool band. I'm trying their other albums, but I'm finding it really, really difficult. So if anyone's a big Ulver fan, recommend me an album that I should check out by them. Not the black metal ones, because that's obvious. Everyone says the debut. And it's really funny when people say that, because I don't care. I'm on a big black metal kick at the moment, and I do love my black metal at the moment. But I want to hear their challenging albums, and I know like Matt the Dark Half is a champion of this band, and he'll be able to tell me if he sees this video. So yeah, brilliant album if you into that kind of synth pop stuff. So that's Ulver. I'll put that over there. Right, next one was sent to me by accident. It was the wrong album I ordered. It was supposed to turn up with that Hyperdontia one, and it showed up with this one. I already have it on cassette, and I had a problem with the cassette where the pincher on the inside of the tape wasn't spinning the tape fast enough, so it was slowing the album down. And I tried fixing it and I couldn't, and I thought it might be my tape deck. Couldn't return the tape because the tape already sold out. And I was like, oh fuck. So I just kept the tape, you know, solid. This came out last year, and that is Actimatum with Deconsecrate. Now, this is a brilliant album, and I was really enjoying it, hence why I picked it up on tape. But this on vinyl sounds so much better. When I emailed them to say, oh, you've sent me the wrong LP, do you want it back? He went, oh yeah, sure, you can send it back and I'll refund you, blah blah blah. But then I thought, no, I'm going to keep it, and I'll just buy the album I wanted anyway. So that's on its way. So it's kind of, I've got two albums for the price are the same. I didn't save anything. But yeah, this album is like progressive death metal, and on vinyl it sounds so much clearer. The clarity was totally different to the tape, and I could hear it better. And yeah, it's just an insanely technical but also cavernous kind of vibe, old school kind of muffled style. It's just full on death metal, and I really enjoyed it. Comes with this cool insert with the band photo. Don't take themselves too seriously there at all, which is what I like to see. Lyrics on the other side, and the vinyl is this hideous looking splatter that kind of fits the album artwork colours, which looks like that. But yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed it, and I listened to this a few times before making my mind up to keep it, because having the tape was one thing, but when it doesn't play properly and I want to listen to this album, it kind of bugged me that I had to stream it. So, I was thinking about picking up on vinyl anyway, so they made my mind up for me. So Actimatum came out last year for a $20 spin. Now this next one was a blind buy. I like to peruse Amazon a lot, just for bargains. They are my go-to website if I want something really cheap, like everybody, and having Prime, you can get it in the next day. Now this album I bought purely based on the reputation of the label it's put out. It was put out through Sentient Ruin, which is a label that kind of specialises in kind of blackened, atmospheric, dark, kind of death metal, black metal, doom metal, that kind of thing. So when I saw this, it was only 15 quid. I jumped on it. This is a 2020 release from Canada's Ceremonial Bloodbath, The Tides of Blood. This is a blackened death metal band, but also has a lot of war metal kind of stylings in it as well. So it's very aggressive, very raw, and it's insane. So this album is intense, really aggressive, very fast, very angry, and yeah, it's brilliant. I love it. Absolutely fantastic. Really fun listen. Picture of the dudes there on the back as you get the vibe of that. So I'm new to this kind of style of metal. I'm not a massive fan of it, like the whole war metal thing I don't get. I like melodic, atmospheric black metal, so the whole raw black metal I don't understand. I don't know why you'd want to be into a band that has shit production. This doesn't have essentially that. It has that kind of leanings towards it, but you can make it out a lot more, and it's not as intense as like some of those underground bands people champion, and you listen to it and you think it sounds like a load of shit, like a washing machine with some coins in it. It's not like that at all. Inlay was like a sleeve for the record, but I haven't put it in there because they get ripped so easily. There's a headless angel on the back of that one there. So yeah, really cool release, just really intense, just black wax and a bargain, and this is shot up in price on Amazon already, but it might have gone down again, I don't know. I'll let you guys decide if you go check it out with the link below. So yeah, Ceremonial Bloodbath, great album. Right, this next one was a reissue that came out last year. This was reissued prior to that in 2010. This is a demo from 1993, based out of Finland. The band is Ripperkulu, hopefully I pronounced that right, with their demo called Musta Ceremonia. This was put out with Fart Records. Now, the cover looks amazing. We all agree on that, yeah? This is the best sounding demo you'll ever hear production wise. So if you're a fan of death metal and 90s death metal and even Finnish death metal, you'll hear this and think, how the fuck they capture such a clear tone and style, considering this came out in the 90s. The production on it, the tone, everything is mint. It's brilliant. The riffs on here, this is kind of has a death doom kind of approach to it. Because it's Finnish, it has that style as well. And this band kind of started off in the early 90s as a kind of punk hardcore band, and then as they changed musicians it evolved into a death metal band, like nearly all Finnish bands at that time period. And in I think around 95 or a bit later they lost one of the guitar players who died, and they could just never recapture the style of the band anymore, so they kind of went quiet until I think 2014, and they reformed again and they did a full length then. But this demo is insanely good, like really good. And one I listened to years and years ago on MP3, using that Live FM website where it recommends you a band after listening to it. And yeah, it's just amazing. This is on black wax, and it's a really nice reissue. Spart always do brilliant reissues, especially with the old school stuff. They really know their albums to pick out. So yeah, go and find that LP if you can. It's a brilliant sounding demo and you won't be disappointed. Right, near the end now. So this one is a band that I discovered at a gig I was playing at back in, I wrote this down, 2018? That long ago, yeah. 2018 in Brighton. I played a show on this kind of Doom kind of festival. It should hopefully pop up on screen now. And the first band on was a band that dressed like a load of beekeepers with LEDs in their beekeeping hoods. And they were playing this kind of horrible, blackened, doomy, droney kind of style, which sounded fantastic. And considering they were the first band on, it amazed me, because when Consecration came, we were only a 4-piece at the time. We kicked out the guitarist, and it was only me on guitar duty, so we didn't have any dual harmonies, nothing like that. We were just kind of going all guns ho, the most aggressive songs we could play, and that was it, you know, with one guitar. But this band stuck with me, and then only last year I was talking to my drummer George, and I said to him, do you remember the beekeeping band, as a passing conversation? And he went, oh, you mean the Wallowing? So I checked them out on Bandcamp, and it was them. And this is their 2019 album called Planet Loss, which was put out through Sludge Lord Records and Black Voodoo Records. And I'm so glad I was able to pick this up, because I happened to find them on Bandcamp and everything was sold out, and then literally a week later they said, oh, they found some copies of this, and it's reduced to like £6. So I bought it instantly, and it's a 12-inch of their full length. Comes on this kind of greeny yellow vinyl, like that. And again, paper sleeves that I need to change out. But these guys are amazing. I mean, the music is droney, kind of stoner doom, but it's got a black metal vibe in there, and then like a droney noise kind of styling as well. So it's a mixture of all different styles. And when I said they look like beekeepers, I wasn't exaggerating. They do look like beekeepers, intergalactic beekeepers, I'm going to say. And you can see the LEDs in the hoods there, and they've done this like kind of weird probing by the looks of it with somebody. But they're a great band. I mean, very artistic as well. If you go on their Bandcamp, look at their merch, their figurines, comic books, and if you're a fan of Fallout, the game, they have like the cassette they did with the split, which I'd love to get if they ever do it again. And it looks like a Pit Boy kind of thing from Fallout, if you know what I'm talking about. Really, really cool, really creative, all done by the band. And yeah, an amazing project. I'm really looking forward to seeing what those guys do next. So yeah, The Wallowing, great band. And lastly, the champion of this collection that I was really happy to find just before Christmas. I went over budget on my month budget. That doesn't exist, but I pretend it does to keep myself sane. And I managed to find Hooded Menace's Ossuarium Silhouettes Unhallowed, probably butchered that, which came out in 2018 through Seasons of Mist. Now I only have one more full length to get now, and I have all their albums. I think it's Effigies of Evil or something like that is the third one that I need. Is it that one? Yeah, who cares? Anyway, so this is quite hard to find, and Amazon just messaged me saying, oh, this is back in stock, and it was only 30 quid, so I thought if I don't buy it now, I'm going to have to start looking at 50, 60 quid again on Discogs. And this is the album that I would say is the best Hooded Menace album in regards to style of Death Doom, because the new one was brilliant, but it has got a traditional heavy metal vibe, and it's a lot more commercial, hence why it was so popular. I loved it, don't get me wrong, but being a champion of the Death Doom style, this is right up there, because the newer Hooded Menace albums won loads of people over, but if they go back, each album gets slower and slower and slower, and I know a few people said they found it really hard to get into those albums compared to the new one. So this is a brilliant album. If you're into Death Doom like I am, the harmonies, the vocals, everything is spot on this album. It's my favourite from them. Very heavy, very atmospheric, and the artwork is really cool as well. So yeah, Hooded Menace, fucking awesome. Right, thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you can see everything clearly and the sound is better. I noticed my videos have dropped in standard a little bit, so I do apologise there. I like to make sure everything is spot on when I do these, because you can pretend you don't care, but why would you put so much effort into uploading a video, editing it, if you didn't care? So hopefully you liked it. Please continue to watch other content that pops around my head now. Please take care, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Cheers.